for the blockchain, we would not have caught, by the way, you said knob. There are actually 2 federal agents. We'll get into that in a second, because it turned out there was another rogue federal agent doing all kinds of other things who was on that Silk Road task force. But for the blockchain, we would not have caught these 2 corrupt agents. And I say that, if I sound like I say that with certainty, it's because I'm certain of it. We would not have caught them otherwise. And in fact, the only reason that we were able to investigate and follow the flow of funds was because of the blockchain technology. And without it, we wouldn't have been able to bring these 2 individuals to justice. In fact, they'd still be today federal agents, I'm quite sure of that. And moreover, they'd probably have over $1 billion worth of criminal proceeds in the form of Bitcoin, given how the price has gone up.
Yeah, they would have been highly resource rich and enabled questionable characters. What an alternative universe that would have been. So in this case, if we could pause for a moment, you seem to have a superpower of getting in front of an audience, and this is certainly shown up in previous profiles of you, CNBC and elsewhere, getting in front of an audience of people who come from all walks of life, such as the members of a jury, and getting them to understand a topic they might have not heard of before, or that might be very complicated, possibly complicated. Could you explain for people who have heard the term blockchain but really don't know what it refers to, what the blockchain is?
Well, there are numerous blockchains, but let's just use the example of the Bitcoin blockchain. And it's essentially, Tim, what it is, a massive ledger that keeps track of kind of who owns what. And instead of some central entity keeping track, it's instead done by what are called nodes all over the world. And these nodes, in the case of the Bitcoin blockchain, are called miners. And the best way to think of them in my mind is think of miners like the workers who are performing computing work to secure the system that keeps track of this ownership. So it's kind of this decentralized, not centrally controlled, big, huge ledger that keeps track of who owns what. Does that paint a picture for you? And it's also the key things about the blockchain is it's immutable. No one can change it. And that turned out to be really important in the case we're talking about, because these agents, while I was investigating them, were agents the whole time. So they were hot on my trail. They could look and see what I was learning. They could peek in our investigation. In other words, the government wasn't able to terminate them just because we thought there was some nefarious conduct afoot. And so the blockchain was actually really necessary because in several instances, they were actually able to get banks and financial entities to destroy records to cover up evidence of their crime. They also forged subpoenas and forged court orders.